At my local Starbucks. Yes, I'm drinking coffee. And it's Sunday report back time. Let's get excited. Last week, if you remember, I was 263. This weekend, this Sunday, I weighed in. Now I weigh in every day because I'm crazy obsessive. But I only report back, and I only think about what I weigh in today. In other words, that's my trend line. I'm creating a trend line, and I'm trying to focus on, can I move the needle, i.e. the scale, the digital scale in this case, by Sunday. So today, without further ado, 263 last week, 257 today. All right, so it took me a minute to get to that. Maybe I can put that on the screen, Grier. So I'm feeling pretty good. That's actually is that 6 pounds? It's fucking 6 pounds this week. Now, some of that's water weight, right? Now, I've just sweated a whole bunch, so I bet if I got on the scale right this second, before I drank this coffee and all of this water, that'd probably be 256, right? But water weight, especially when you're heavier, bigger mass, I mean, I can gain 2 or 3 pounds just by drinking. You would think that this thing probably technically only weighs, what is it? Maybe 2 pounds of actual physical water weight, but if I guzzled this whole thing and stepped on the scale, I probably would somehow magically gain 3 pounds even, right? So it's the people that try to say, oh, you eat a half a pound of food and that's gonna put a half a pound of weight on you. It doesn't necessarily work like that. I'm not sure why. I can't explain the science to you. It's probably the uptake of what's actually being absorbed into your cellular activity, right? Because when things go into the cell, they're bringing in water, they're bringing in nutrients, oxygen, whatever else is going in there. So anyway, I fucking going off on a tangent. Point is, I've had a very good week. I really tried to focus on activity. So if you remember last week's report back, which is probably somewhere, I don't know if I chopped it down for Instagram or not. I had to put it on YouTube. So basically, I've learned I've got to go 10 minutes or less on Instagram, which I'm wasting time right now. So I started the year at 285, and I'm now 257. 25, 26, 27, 25, 26 pounds. Give or take, because tomorrow I'm going to eat today and I'll probably go back up to 260. It's just the way life is. But I am a solid 25 pounds down since January 1. And I have now started incorporating fasting back into my routine. I'm a big proponent of fasting. Not just for the weight loss, fucking flies, which is great. Mentally, I'm charged up, right? Like, I have not eaten food since Thursday night. Now, I drink coffee, and there are people on the whole fasting routine, depends on who you say and what your goals are, and I used to freak out about that say coffee is not technically, you're only supposed to drink water, or water with salt in it, or electrolytes. And I think that if you want the most health benefit, if you're trying to heal something and really promote autophagy, then yes, no coffee, water only, right? But if you're just going for weight loss, which is what I am right now, and I think I'm getting maybe some mild healing elements. I don't know. It's hard to measure. But I think that fasting with coffee, right? So coffee in the morning brings me some joy. It just does. Sitting down, doing a run, and it's a very mild, like on the whole scale of things, it's so mild to tip the scales that I'm willing to quote unquote sacrifice or exchange a little bit of health benefit for enjoying my coffee. But all the other benefits, such as just mental clarity, a little bit of self-discipline to be like, you know what, I can go without food. Like if I had to go on a hike, I mean, I was listening to some old-time country music, and they're talking about going across the trail, the prairie, and you think they freaking had food or a 7-Eleven at every corner? No, they probably went a couple of days, try to get some miles on, looking either for water or for food, right? It can be done. And the last, which this is not all about the negative, but the last thing you'll hear, and if you are over 300 pounds and trying to maybe do some fasting, you might hear, well, that's not healthy, right? Do your research for one. Number two, ask them back, is it healthier that I'm 150 pounds overweight, or did I not eat for a couple of days and see what happens? See, current status quo is that I am 260 pounds, and it's not sustainable. I'm gonna die at 260 pounds a lot sooner than I would be. Like my little scale, which this is all just, you know, it's not individualized, but my scale basically has a metabolic age, and I'm 57 because of my weight and other things, and visceral fat and blah blah blah. Like if I was probably 10% body fat, I probably would be 47, right? I could shave 10 years just by having less weight on me. So does that necessarily mean that I'm going to avoid cancers or whatever? No, of course not. But all things being equal, right, the weight is dragging me down, literally. So love you guys. If you have any questions or anything, hit me up. Man, you guys have been just, I love my Instagram family. Give it a big hug, group hug. You guys have been just encouraging me on the messaging, and it's just been great. Thank you. I should give some shout outs this week. Shout out number one goes to Corey. Corey is always 100. He's tagged. He is my coach. If you have, I'm going to give my shout out to my 300 pounders. If you're in the 300 pound club or more, you need to start thinking about what you're going to do. Start researching. I told you last week, the number one tool is knowledge. You got to kind of figure out what you want to do. Fasting is a great jump start. Read about that. Look up Dr. Fung. Start with him, right? Dr. Berg might be a good one. He's got a ton of videos. Peter Attia, he's a little cerebral. Might not be a great place to start, but you might lead to him. Most of them have podcasts. Most of them have data. I mean, the stuff, it's so free. Like, let me just give you a clue. Do not pay for anyone's diet plan. You could get it all. And the number one diet plan is don't eat for 3 days and then have a small meal, a salad with some protein, and redo it again. Do that 3 times in a row, and then tell me if you need to go buy someone's diet plan. So there you go. Corey, number one. Nathaniel up in Taylor. I think he lives in Taylor. He's just my internet friend, fishing buddy. I'm gonna put his name. Man, you want to see some good fishing pictures, but he's very encouraging to me, right? Who else off the top of my head? My friend Rachel, who did my DEXA scan. She's giving me shout outs and attaboys, right? Ken Scruggs, man. Scruggs, not drugs. Diana Lawson, right? She gives me shout outs. Man, the list goes on. Hares, what's up? I need to write a list. I don't have a list. I've got to go. You know, if you looked at my Instagram feed, I had to dig a hole yesterday to find a water leak, and we don't have water in the house right now. So I'm going to go to Gold's and take a shower. Rambling. So if you like rambling, this is the channel to watch. So I personally hate those YouTube. Maybe more people like them, but when they're like, I cut, do this, cut, so that every word I say is not does not have it's just so you realize, it's like, dude, can you not complete a fucking sentence? Can you not just be real on the camera for a minute and just tell me what's going on? So anyway, wishing you guys the best. That was a rant. 9:52. Oh, by the way, 10:58 was my fucking time, huh? Can you see that? Fucking amazing. See you next week, guys.